Hey people, it is Thursday, August the 26th, and it is currently 27 degrees Celsius. Feeling much hotter with the humidity. It's another day of this relentless heat wave. So the temperature will get up into the 30s today, feeling closer to 40 degrees with the humidex. And I'm here at the corner of Yonge Street and Carlton and College. College is looking this way. There's a look south down Yonge. But we'll be walking north along Yonge up to Bloor. And then we'll walk east along Bloor. And then we'll make our way down south again on one of these streets. I haven't decided which one yet. But the streets that I could take are Church or Jarvis, Sherbourne or Parliament, so it'll be one of them. We'll see how it goes depending on how hot I am and whether or not I want to walk farther or shorter today. I think the temperature tomorrow is supposed to return to a more seasonal value, like around 25 Celsius, which is still quite warm, but without the oppressive humidity, so it'll feel more like a typical late summer day. And once again, I'm walking on the shady side of the street. I always like this awesome big photo of downtown. It's quite old and outdated now, but still impressive, and you can see my apartment building on it, which is kind of cool. Oh, so I might be forced to go on to the sunny side of the street because, as you can see, the sidewalk here is closed because you know why. That's right. Say it one more time. In Toronto, no sidewalk goes unobstructed. Just putting the finishing touches on this new development here, on the how it meets the street. There's going to be some new retailers here at the base of this condo building. And let's look down Alexander Street. Ugh, this looks like hot, dirty work here. I pity those who are going to have to be working on this in this weather. So here we are, continuing north on Yonge. Now we're on the west side of the street in the glaring sun, which is like my nemesis. At least we got some shade here. There's an old school electronics shop. Yonge Street used to be full of these kind of places, but now they're few and far between. Not sure what that guy said. These Uber Eats or whatever delivery people on bikes and scooters have completely taken over the streets and sidewalks of the city. And it's getting to be kind of a pet peeve of mine, the way they just disregard traffic rules and just go anywhere they want. On sidewalks, the wrong way down one-way streets, through red lights. Anywhere that will get them to their destination quicker, they'll do it. Whether or not it's the proper thing to do. I'm surprised there haven't been some accidents. Here at Wellesley Street, and it looks like Not Just Noodles has closed down. This place has been sort of an institution in this part of downtown. It's looking east down Wellesley. And this nice historic building is being spared, even though there's a tower rising directly behind it. I think this is probably one of the best buildings on downtown Yonge, and I don't foresee anything ever happening to that building. The Bootmaster. I wonder if there's any relation to the Keymaster. That is a gas-powered bike. I'm not sure if those are legal. And more hot, sweaty work. Gotta hand it to these guys for being out here and doing this kind of stuff, no matter what the weather conditions are. It's so weird. Yeah. This strip has seen better days. Hopefully some new retailers will move into these spaces. And there's another one of my favorite old historic buildings on this part of Yonge Street. And there's a look east down Charles Street. And looking to the west. And here's one Bloor East, your Chick-fil-A, McEwen Fine Foods, Nordstrom Rack. It's a bit of an upscale building, and it's currently the tallest building here in the north end of downtown. But not for long, because I'm walking past this construction site right here, which will be another building that will surpass that one by quite a fair margin, and will become the tallest building in the city when completed. Let's see. Now you can see that's one Bloor East here. So this is the new building currently under construction, and we'll be towering over it. "95 stories. One Bloor East is 76 stories. And here we can see how it's progressing. A new flagship Apple store will occupy the majority of the retail space on the ground floor. And here we have a scramble intersection. The only other one is at Yonge and Dundas, which is a much busier one and much more well known. So here we are at Yonge and Bloor. Just looking down into the Mink Mile along Bloor Street West. You can find all the high-end luxury retailers. But we're gonna walk east along Bloor. This end of Bloor is obviously quieter than the main retail stretch along Bloor Street West. But it's not an unpleasant stretch of street to walk along. It's nice wide sidewalks and some attractive buildings. And some rather unattractive buildings, obviously, such as this giant bunker that is the Hudson's Bay Company store. But renovations are underway to make it more appealing in how it meets the street. There's another one of the Firkin British pubs, Firkin on Bloor. That's a chain. Find those spread throughout the city, around downtown mostly. Here's a supermarket. The Market by Longo's, which is a not extremely expensive grocery store, but it's, I guess, a tier above your Metro or Loblaws in terms of prices. across Church Street. I was talking about attractive buildings. Here's the Manulife head office. St. Paul's Anglican Church. Now, I definitely don't want to take Ted Rogers Way, which becomes Jarvis Street, south from here, because it's a construction nightmare right now. So we'll just keep heading east.
Listen, in terms of the relationship,
just take a look back to the west. It's kind of an attractive older apartment building. It has some style. I guess that car was honking at me for daring to stop and pan up to the building, and he wanted to turn in. There's Mount Pleasant Road down below. Passes underneath Bloor Street here. And it merges with Jarvis Street to the south. People walking their dogs. We got a nice selection here of comfort food. Got your Popeyes, got a Pizza Yolo, pizza place, and Fat Bastard Burrito. And this new development is starting to get fairly tall. It will eventually be over 50 stories when it tops out. Took forever for it to start rising. It seemed like it was at ground level for a year before it finally started to go skyward. And here's Sherbourne Street. So I think I will head south here along Sherbourne. I was debating whether I should go along Parliament or Sherbourne, but I feel like I've been along Parliament enough times in the last few months. Not as more so than I have Sherbourne. Especially this very northern end of Sherbourne. Wow, it's direct sunlight here. That's a nice play on words here, soul food. We're walking past St. Jamestown. When it's this hot, I feel like I have very little pep in my step. I do tend to walk more quickly than most people, but that becomes less apparent in this disgusting humidity. I think I slow down a bit. And there'll be a new tower rising here. They relocated an old house that was here, an old historic house. And they actually relocated this old mansion as well when they were starting this condo development on site. They moved it over. And they did the same thing to its neighbor, which I walked past and failed to point out. They moved over both of these old historic mansions to incorporate them into the base of these new residential towers. They've done that in a number of other developments in the city where they pick up an old building and move it over and set it back down again. Just walking past the main apartment cluster of St. Jamestown. Yeah, this sun is starting to really have the baking effect on my face right now. There's a relatively new grocery store. This replaced another grocery store that was closed down. And when they opened this newly added rental tower, this new grocery store came along with part of that development. Here's another very attractive old church. Here's the St. Jamestown branch of the Toronto Public Library. And the community center attached. I think we need some rain. So the grass here is going completely yellow. And I hear some Michael Jackson, so I'll just talk over that. That's quite loud and clear from here. So as much as I like this song, I will do my best to not make it audible in my video. But these guys are pretty determined to have everyone on the street hear it and possibly dance. So I will do my best to try not to dance as well, as hard as that may be. That's right, Michael. You tell him. You tell him. See, the guy is actually dancing as he walks. He's doing the moves. He's doing the moves. Sherbourne Street takes on a more quiet character here. More purely residential. And the part of the street that tends to have a bad reputation, I would say, begins south of Gerrard and goes down to about Queen. But we won't make it that far. I think we'll only go as far south as Carlton, which is the street I started this video at. Only at Yonge St Carlton. So we've gone kind of like a big U shape. An upside down U. What is happening up here now? Looks like I'll have to walk through a big cloud of exhaust or smoke or dust or something. Guess it's a weed whacker. Well, maybe I lucked out. Looks like he's moved off. And I see a development proposal for this parking lot. With a new tower that looks fairly tall for this neighborhood. And these old buildings. The one in the middle has definitely seen better days. I think that will be incorporated into a new development. Will they retain the old facade of these old apartment buildings in the podium of the new development. You are not your mistakes. Well, I guess not, but I guess it doesn't exactly help. Of course, we all make mistakes. But are all mistakes created equal? That is the question. here we are coming up to Carlton. So I will just cross the street and start heading through Allan Gardens, and I'll wrap up the video as I do so. So I hope you enjoyed the walk from Yonge St Carlton heading north all the way up to Bloor Street, and then walking east along Bloor Street East to Sherbourne, and then south on Sherbourne back to Carlton. So leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you enjoy this sort of thing, I'd like to know about it. And also, like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal and via my new merch store. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue. And I'll just continue for another minute or so, just to get a shot of the skyline, which will unveil itself once we get past these trees.